Hello, everybody. It is 7:30 p.m. CST, and it is the 3rd of April, 2021. That means it's time for Cast Talks. This is the show that is a background ambient sort of thing, and we do this every Saturday at the same time, same place. Something you might do with this show is you might just have it in the background while you relax or lay in bed or meditate. Or it may even be something that you have on just to hear someone's voice for a little while. Guess who's back? Playful, I'm so glad to have you. Thank you for coming back. And thank you to Eric Sana, not sure you say that, for following. Glad to have you. But all you need to do right now is kick on back, take it easy, take it slow, and enjoy yourself. Because we're going to be here for 2 hours. 2 hours of the best relaxation anyone could hope for. Today we have this lovely little jazzy club in the background with some music. It's a little bit of a rare thing for us to have music on here like this, but I figured, episode 24, what the heck. Today we're going to be looking at some cat videos. Well, not specifically cats today, but there will be animals in them, and there may even be a cat in one of them, so you never know. And we're going to be looking at some good news, picked out by yours truly. Speaking of which, I'm Cass. Though my name isn't actually Cass, but you can call me that if you'd like to. We've got some people in chat that are just waiting for the action to begin. So, to all of you here now, thank you very much for being here, and to everyone in the future who listens to these, go ahead and just get ready to relax. And to those who are here with me now, I hope that you're doing well. Same to the future people too, but I hope you are also doing well. And, well, enjoy yourself. So today, we're looking at a couple of good news stories. I'll tell you 2 of them right now, actually. We're looking at bike tires that need no air, and how to turn plastic waste in your recycling bin into profit. Either one of these sounds like a pretty interesting time, but we'll get to that in about 5-10 minutes. Until then, Playful, how are you doing? I saw you in the Discord not long ago. I've been working on my planter, actually. Feeling a little blah, but still good. Well, I'm very glad to hear that you're still good, despite the blah. There's a bit of blahness in my day as well, but that seems to have passed, as it usually does on Saturdays. But there's more than one reason for the blah passing, I should say. I've been working on a bit of a project for myself. The project of my planter outside my window. If you're a part of the Discord, then you've already seen this DIY, I'm sure. But if you're not, it is a brick planter, and it is going to contain an assortment of plants, mostly flowers. But outside of the planter, there's going to be some goldenrod as well. But on top of all of that, I'm having a heck of a time putting it all together. I'm thinking that if I find myself really enjoying it, I might go on other expeditions into gardening as well. But to begin with, I'm just going to say that it's a heck of a time. It gives me plenty of thought and thinking and emotion to met out onto the dirt. And I always feel a little more accomplished when I've leveled something out or done a good job with making things seem steady and calm and cool. Not only that, but I get to listen to a podcast in the background. And that's my favorite part, is just tuning my brain out and doing some very simple work. Not having to worry too much about doing this or that, but being able to focus intently on this one task. I do admire it. I love it. I keep coming back day after day. I'm going to keep coming back to it until it's finished, and then maybe after that as well. I'm hoping to get a new camera very soon, one that would help me take pictures of very special insects that would be crawling on all the flowers. I'd be really into that, actually, seeing all the insects going about their business, especially the bees. I have an extreme fondness for bees. One of the most useful and important insects on the planet. I find that they have an absolute grace and a beauty to them that is unparalleled in nature. But I've also considered apiary in my lifetime. Though it's not the most fancy or intricate of arts, apiary is certainly a lovely thing, and if I get to do that someday in my life, if I get to be having so many bees in my life at once, I'd be very happy seeing them all buzzing around. Plus, I get to wear one of those cool suits with the net headgear. Lovely. Well, let's get into our first story for today. How to turn plastic waste in your recycling bin into profit by Good News Network from the 22nd of March, 2021. People will recycle if they can make money doing it. In places where cash is offered for cans and bottles, metal and glass recycling has been a great success. Sadly, the incentives have been weaker for recycling plastic. As of 2015, only 9% of plastic waste is recycled. The rest pollutes landfills or the environment. But now, several technologies have been matured that allow people to recycle waste plastic directly by 3D printing it into valuable products at a fraction of their normal cost. People are using their own recycled plastic to make decorations and gifts, home and garden products, accessories and shoes, toys and games, sporting goods and gadgets, from millions of free designs. This approach is called distributed recycling and additive manufacturing, or DRAM for short. As a professor of materials engineering at the forefront of this technology, I can explain and offer some ideas for what you can take advantage of in this trend. Mind you, this is in character and not me. I am not an expert in this field, but maybe one day. The DRAM method starts with plastic waste, everything from used packaging to broken products. The first step is to sort and wash the plastic with soap and water, or even run it through the dishwasher. Next, the plastic needs to be ground into particles. For small amounts, a cross-cut paper CD shredder works fine. For larger amounts, open source plans for an industrial waste plastic granulator are available online. Next, you have a few choices. You can convert the particles into 3D printer filament using a recycle bot, a device that turns ground plastic into a spaghetti-like filament used by most low-cost 3D printers. Filament made with a 3D printable recycle bot is incredibly cheap, costing less than a nickel per pound as compared to commercial filament, which costs about $10 US per pound or more. With the global events interrupting a supply chain, making products at home from waste is even more appealing. The second approach is newer. You can skip the step of making filament and use fused particle fabrication to directly 3D print granulated waste products and plastics. This approach is most amenable to large products on larger printers, like the commercial open source Gigabot X printer, but can also be used on desktop printers. Granulated plastic waste can also be directly printed with a syringe printer, although this is less popular because print volume is limited by the need to reload the syringe each time. My research group, along with dozens of labs and companies throughout the world, has developed a wide array of open source products that enable DRAM, including shredders, recycle bots, and both fused filament and fused particle 3D printers. These devices have been shown to work not only with the two most popular 3D printing plastics, ABS and PLA, but also a long list of plastics you likely use every day, including PET water bottles. It is now possible to convert any plastic waste with a recycling symbol on it into valuable products. Furthermore, an eco-printing initiative in Australia has demonstrated DRAM can work in isolated communities with no recycling and no power. By using solar-powered systems. This makes DRAM applicable anywhere humans live. Waste plastic is abundant and the sun shines, which is just about everywhere. Research has shown this approach to recycling and manufacturing is not only better for the environment, but it is also highly profitable for individual users, making their own approach to products, as well as for small and medium-sized businesses. Making your own products from open source design simply saves you money. DRAM allows custom products to be made for less than the sales tax of conventional consumer products. Millions of free 3D printable designs already exist. Everything from learning aids for kids to household products to adaptive aids for arthritis sufferers. Prosumers are already 3D printing these products, saving themselves collectively millions of dollars. One study found My Mini Factory users saved over $4 million in 1 month alone in 2017 just by making toys themselves instead of purchasing them. Consumers can invest in a desktop 3D printer for around $250 US and earn a return of investment of over 100% by making their own products. The return on investment goes higher if they use recycled plastic. For example, using a recycle bot on a waste computer plastic makes it possible to print 300 camera lens hoods for the same price as a single one on Amazon. Individuals can also profit by 3D printing for others. Thousands are offering their services in markets like Make XYZ, 3D House, Ponogo, or Print a Thing. Small companies or fab labs can purchase industrial printers like the Gigabox X and make high returns printing large sporting goods equipment like snowshoes, skateboard decks, and kayak paddles from local waste. Large companies that make plastic products already recycle their own waste. Now with DRAM, households can too. If many people start recycling their own plastic, it will help prevent the negative impact that plastic is having on the environment. In this way, DRAM may provide a path to a circular economy, but it will not be able to solve the plastic problem until it scales up with more users. Luckily, we're already on the way. "3D printer filament is now listed in Amazon Basics along with other everyday items, which indicates plastic-based 3D printers are becoming mainstream. Most families still do not have a in-home 3D printer, let alone a RecycleBot or a GigaBot X. For DRAM to become a viable path to the circular economy, larger tools could be housed at neighborhood-level enterprises, such as small local businesses, market spaces, fabrication labs, or even schools. France is already studying the creation of small businesses that would pick up plastic waste at schools to make 3D filament. I remember saving box tops to help fund my grade school. Future students may bring leftover plastic from home after making their own products to help fund their schools using DRAM. I find that lovely. Truly a lovely thing, if you ask me. I think Good News Network is actually I think their site's down. Yeah, their site's down. It's okay, we've got a bit of good news left to take though. And now we're moving on to my personal favorite segment. We're moving on to some animal videos. First one is adorable pet hedgehog gets given a bath. Well, great, yeah, I know. He's trying to escape that sink, but he doesn't know that it's actually a very good thing to get a bath. In fact, it's one of my favorite things is to take a bath or a shower. I think hedgehogs are awfully cute. They are the animal of the week here on Cast Talks. I have never held a hedgehog, but they do seem very delicate. They seem very, maybe the word is not just fragile, they seem very gentle. I certainly would like to get to know a hedgehog someday, though I don't know to what capacity I would ever get that, because I don't know anybody who owns a hedgehog. Looking at one more. Oh, I deleted the music by accident. My bad, folks. There we go. This one is Hedgehog 10 Facts About the Hedgehog. An albino hedgehog, wow. I've always thought those pink eyes are very strange looking, aren't they? I think that owning an animal or having an animal companion is certainly one of the greatest ways to improve your life. I don't know much about hedgehogs, to be honest with you, but certainly they seem like they're capable of providing a lot in the way of empathy and learning about other creatures, because they do seem very, very energetic, very spunky, I guess you could say. They look very, very fluffy and very soft as well. I've always wondered how spiky the spikes in their back are, but they don't seem very spiky from the way everybody's holding them. Porcupines. They do look like porcupines, don't they? I've always thought that porcupines and hedgehogs and what's the other one? Armadillos. They seem like they're in the same genus, though I don't think that's true, but they seem very similar to me. I really think that when they go into their puddle, their little balls, I find that adorable. So I think everybody does. They seem very, very skeptical of coming out of their balls sometimes, just because of how safe they must feel there. I've never quite felt that kind of a spine, that back spines like that. They do seem very. They seem dangerous, but I don't think that you'll get hurt holding them. I just have to be really gentle, I bet. Like how tiny they get though when they're inside their ball. They look like they're so prepared to be attacked. I hope they know it's safe though. They're just like a cuddle bean. You know, I've been thinking about what the name of the subscribers and followers would be on this channel. I still have no idea. I've thought about beans. I've thought about like buddies or friendos, or I've thought about peas in the pod. I still don't know though. I like beans the best. Though I'm not certain how well it fits with the theme of this channel. Eating the worms. I keep finding worms in the ground, but I never have that. I never want to crush them or hit them with the shovel. I always dig them up and put them to the side under some earth, just so they have a chance of getting away. Let's move on to the next one. I like seeing them wander around. They are very cute. They gotta eat something, yeah. I mean, you know, hey, they're much cuter than what they eat. I suppose that's something. Though I think worms are cute enough. I don't know if I like them touching me, but I like when he tries to pull on that blanket. Oh, you could bowl with them, couldn't you? Because they go into a ball. You could roll them. You could play bowling with a hedgehog, for sure. I like the videos where the animal gets groomed. I don't know why that always speaks to me so much, but seeing them get groomed makes me feel like yeah, they're getting treated right. You know what I mean? They're getting treated right. It's a good feeling. Oh, they take dust baths too. I didn't know that. That makes sense though. Here's a baby elephant video. Though it's a quick one. I don't know. Actually, I'm not going to show this one. I will show this one though. Oh, look how tiny they are. It's such a tiny thing. Baby hedgehog, baby rabbit, and baby mouse. Most all babies are like that. They're just so tiny. They're just like blobs, you know? Just cute little blobs. Just little tiny blobs. Oh. Well, I do love animals, and I like seeing this. I'd like to have really good vibes with an animal. I mean, I think if I had to choose like an exotic animal, right, to try and raise, I might be okay with a snake or a monitor lizard, but I might be better with a bird. I don't want anything too exotic, but something that is like colorful and enjoys being held and really takes to me and stuff like that. If the animal likes me, I could raise just about any animal, I think. They have to like me though before I can feel comfortable with that. Aw, it's like feeding a hedgehog an onion ring. No reptiles for you. Yeah. Some people are not into reptiles. I understand. That hedgehog's got a huge peach. There's no way he can eat that whole thing. It's twice the size of him. Right? There's no way that hedgehog can eat that peach. I like animals in blankets though. That's always a fun thing for me. Aw. Aw, hedgehog and cat, hedgehog and horse. That's cute. Oh, they're very fuzzy. There's a hedgehog hidden there. Oh, he's coming out. Yeah, I think monitor lizards and snakes are really cool. But I understand if someone thinks otherwise. They're very scaly. As long as they're kind, though, I won't mind them. Oh, here he comes. Gosh, he looks so sleepy. He's like, ooh, what time is it? Oh, such beady eyes. Need to give that boy some food. Oh, lovely. So I've been hanging out on Twitch for a little while now. And I really found that I do enjoy the just hanging out in other people's chats, lurking, you know, not really being there in any kind of capacity, but to just say, you know, howdy and hey there, and to show up when I want to. That's always been fun for me. But I met some really cool people doing this. I think the most fun I've had, though, is when I was in... Let's see, whose chat was I in that I really enjoyed it? I know I like being in Rory's chat. I like being in the Geek Remix chat. And I don't go there as much as I used to, but I do enjoy it. I find that there's a real soothing effort that people can climb up to and can reach if they just have someone in the background talking. You know, just have someone like there, even if you're not having a full conversation with them. You've only ever talked in this one. Well, I think it's a good choice to talk in this one. There's certainly a lot of talking to be had. It's half the show, it's half the name. I think it's certainly something that is always welcome here is just, you know, conversation. These are the early months where things will be slow for a little while and we're still getting our footing. But I feel like we've gotten some good stuff going on with the videos and the good news. Those are my two favorite things, and I feel like they're very wholesome and I gravitate towards them. They are great. Something I've been doing recently is I've been watching Disco Elysium on Co Carnage's YouTube channel. I don't usually catch his live stuff because the live stuff is, it's like not quite at the pace I would like, and I'm not quite interested in being in his chat just yet. Maybe someday soon, but not just yet. And I am going to be in his chat like whenever I'm aware of the next thing he's playing at the right time, but until then, I'm okay just being on his YouTube channel and being a good subscriber and listener and stuff like that. And I think highly of him. He's a cool dude. I was also thinking about the kind of video games that I'd like to play if I ever get back into it, which I don't know at this point if I will, but maybe someday. I'd like to play Stalker's Call of Pripyat. I have a really big fondness for one of the mods for that game called Misery, but it is a crazy difficult thing, and I have a real love of super difficult games. You know, I think they're very fun, and it is unforgiving, but you know, with the right attitude and the right know-how, you can make it work, and beating or defeating or having victory over a hard game is a special kind of, it's a special kind of greatness. It makes me very happy, and I'm into it. I'm really into it. I do hope that I'll be able to. I go to your YouTube, but realize they are past cast talks that I've been to. I know how that feels, being like, well, I've heard this already, you know. You're like, oh, I don't need to hear it again. Well, you would hear me commentating over your messages, though, which I feel like there's always some special quality to hearing it over again. But I haven't, as much as I should. I haven't listened to one of my own cast talk streams yet, which would be really nice and would probably make me feel, you know, really relaxed when I'm not feeling that relaxed, but I just don't seem to have the time for it most days. Maybe it's the mood as well. My mood isn't quite right for it. I'm certain it would help. Plus, I'm one of the rare people that actually enjoys the sound of my own voice, which I'm grateful for. Because there are many people who can't stand it. Though I admit the earlier episodes of this stream were a little bit edgier than I'd like. We're talking like pre-episode 5 though. Which, you know, everyone has their moments of gracelessness. But I feel like when the early days were happening, I really needed to find some time, you know, find some footing, and it did take me a few weeks to get it right because I didn't really know what this was going to be, right? I just was like, I want to stream something and I want to just start talking. That's all I want. And I had to think, you know, what would be fun, what would be great. And I decided it would be really great to just have some good news, some good influences, and do my best to have good vibes. You know, the best vibes, if you can. Because there aren't enough good vibes out there. And we could always use a few more. Though I often find I begin to feel like I'm putting myself asleep, which isn't such a bad thing, mind you. You didn't think it was allowed you to have such many followers each week. I think I see what you're saying. I didn't think I would have any interest in it to begin with because it's such a experiment. Most repeated followers too, yeah. I mean, I didn't think many people would be interested because, you know, it's literally just a guy talking. And I do have a spontaneity and a enjoyable tone and demeanor and stuff like that. So I thought, you know, maybe people would like it or have some fun doing it. But I think the only thing I need is for people to actually listen, because when they do, I seem to win them over every time. But I enjoy winning people over. I tend to notice that people underestimate me very commonly. I don't know why. I think it's because they see a nerdy looking guy with, you know, I don't have incredible muscles, or I'm not like the most handsome person. Though I'm fairly attractive, but, you know, people just see me as a normal guy, but I have so much more to offer than that. And when I just start actually talking, and when I start actually giving people my thoughts and my opinions, they actually see that underneath the surface, I'm a lot more than just a normal guy. Which I think is to my credit, though I have my imperfections and my craziness. I think that everybody has something that's worth looking into, of course, but I think that I was an extreme diamond in the rough earlier in my life, but I've gotten cleaned up, and don't we all? It's true, playful. I feel like I've been cleaned up and cut right for as many years as I've been recovering from mental illness and stuff like that. It's really shaped me out to be a really nice person. And I say this with humbleness in my heart, because, you know, I do think highly of myself now, but not even 10 years ago, not even 5 years ago, I couldn't have said that. It takes years and years and years of building on yourself, and building on the world around you, and building on your perception and your character to actually see the world for what it is, which is a very beautiful place, filled with beautiful people and beautiful things. And if you're not looking for it, if you're not trying to find it, if you're not open to seeing it, then you won't. And there's nothing wrong with not wanting to see that. You can not want to see it, and it's alright. But I think you'll live a much happier life if you do look for it, if you do seek it out. At least that's my experience, I'll say. And I have to say, it is a good thing for me. Really, this stream is a good thing for me. I've had so many hard nights, and it's enough that I grew real tired, real sick and tired of being so stinking negative and so stinking wrong and problematic about so many things that I thought, I could either live my life this way or that way, and I chose that way. Or this way, I suppose, now, but I got there, It takes a long time, though. You can't just get that thing rolling all at once. You have to build up to it. And having a psychiatrist, if that's available to you, can really help as well. But benevolence and kindness and care and attention, those are all just glitter. And they can pretty up and clean up and sparkle, but what's underneath has to be ready to shine. If you're not ready to shine, then all that glitter, all that makeup, it doesn't mean a damn thing. And I had to find my moment. I had to find that special, powerful moment for me that made me feel ready to be who I am. And if you can, whoever's listening to this, if you can find that Dunlock, that power, if you can unlock that state within yourself, it takes so much work, so much unbelievable amount of work. Then you could start your own thing. You could start your own work, your own job, your own stream, anything. It just takes a single moment of wanting to. And the more you build and build on that moment, it's like a pearl. It's a pearl being licked by a mussel, by an oyster. And it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Eventually you've got the mother of all pearls, and you can do something wonderful with a big enough pearl. We're gonna get back into some videos now. Oh, you can't voice in this chat, unfortunately. But if you'd like, you come on as a guest one day. You'd have to have a nice microphone for that, though. I'm still trying to see the kind of guests that I'd like to have on. No, it is text only for anyone who's watching. But one of these days I'll have you on. How about that? This damn squeaky chair. But yeah, let's get back into the videos. We got more hedgehogs for you to look at. Even more hedgehogs. So many hedgehogs you wouldn't believe it. I wonder if Ella's going to be on tonight's episode. I think they have a very strong brow ridge, hedgehogs. They have very strong eyebrows. You know what I mean? It's like a very defined feature of their face, and they have that really cool, like, tipped spikes, like a frosty tipped spikes from some kind of 1990s pop band. Remember? Oh, wow. They can control their spikes like that if they don't want you to. Oh, wow, they can defend themselves. I didn't even know they could do that. Wow. They can get so prickly. They do have beautiful spines, though. Yeah, I know. I've never seen that before. Yeah. He almost got hurt, yes. The hand did, yeah. I don't know how much that would hurt, but they look pretty spiky to me when they're being flushed like that. I'm sure you do not want to grab a defensive hedgehog. They look like they'd do some damage. I think it's my only problem with hedgehogs is that I feel like they're prickly. You know, they're too hard to get to know because they might prick you. And I'd worry that I wouldn't be able to get close to them. Or that they'd crawl on me and they might spike me by accident. No, yeah, I'd be worried about them spiking me because maybe they can't help it. Maybe they're like scorpions; they can't help but spike things. Okay, that's a female. Whoops. Oh well, you know. I'm trying to get too hung up on stuff like that, unless it becomes important. I see what you mean, though. Picking up all the mulch. That's a mulchy hedgehog. Oh, they have such beady eyes. Grab them with a towel. That's probably really good advice. Because they get so spiky. Nice. Time for the hedgehog boat. unless you want to get stabbed by a spike. Good idea, yeah. Oh, the hedgehog boat. Such a graceful thing. Floating along, unimpeded by the surface and the displacement. Just swimming around on its back, not all worried, not all caring, carefree. Just living in its own little ocean. That's great. Absolutely wonderful, I might even say. They really do curl up into like a sleeping bag, don't they? He got all spiny. Ooh, hedgehog and watermelon. Oh, I see he's coming out for the food. You know that he's looking after that. Oh, I like how they unfold. I bet you though that the belly, the stomach of a hedgehog is very soft. If I had a giant hedgehog friend, I'd be very happy to sleep on their belly. They could all curl up and like keep you. It would basically be a sleeping bag at that point. What the heck was that? It's like a cube of like a treat or something, you know, it's like just a treat or a little bit of food, you know, whatever they like. Oh, he looks really happy. That is one happy hedgehog. He's getting fat too. His cup is overflowing. Oh, hedgehog eating jello. That is adorable. I didn't know hedgehogs like to eat fruit. Alright, folks. We are going into our halfway point break. During the halfway point break, we stand up. Hedgehogs are fat. Hedgehogs are fat in the first place. You might be right. You might be right. I've never seen them like without their fur and stuff, but the little blobs that they come out of are pretty fat. Very cute though. We are going to take a 5-minute break. So what that means is go and stand up and stretch out. Get something to drink. Go to the bathroom if you need to. And if you're still awake, just take 5 minutes to yourself to chill out. Stretch out your back. And come on back in 5. That's what I'll be doing. Alright, folks, and we're back. Hope you enjoyed your little break. And we're going to get into some more good news here in a second. Thank you very much, Playful. I hope that you had a nice break. Today's good news. Let's see some more. I wonder if Good News Network is back up. Nope, it's still down. Well, ring-a-ding. Bike tires that need no air, made from NASA rover tech, but will soon be available to any cyclist. Originally invented by NASA for use on lunar and Mars rover missions, these new kind of bicycle tires that's elastic. Sorry about that. Elastic like rubber, yet strong like titanium. It exhibits perfect shape memory without ever going flat. Essentially, it's the tire of dreams. Made in gold, silver, and metallic blue. METL tires are made from advanced lightweight materials known as Ni-Tinol Plus. They're the first ever consumer application of the alloy tire technology NASA will use to get future rover missions out on rough terrain without a hiccup or puncture. And they're being developed as a partnership with a startup smart tire company. Cyclists will not be able to wait to get their hands on these cool-looking space-age tires that don't go flat, says Earl Cole from Survivor, Fiji champion and CEO of Smart in a statement. The unique combination of these advanced materials, coupled with a next-generation, eco-friendly design, make for a revolutionary product. Smart was founded in 2020 by Cole and blockchain engineer Brian Yenny, together with former NASA engineer intern Calvin Young. The Smart team has consulted with inventors at NASA Glenn Research Center to bring the power of shape memory alloy tire technology to the general public. Thanks to their ability to undergo phase transitions at the molecular level under strain, these alloys are unlike any other material, exhibiting 30 times the recoverable strain of ordinary steel. In other words, according to Daryl Etherington at TechCrunch, NASA's key development has been in creating an alloy that can return to their shape at the molecular level, meaning they can deform and adapt to uneven terrain, including obstacles like gravel and potholes, and return to their original shape without losing structural integrity over time. What's more, Smart's metal tires are good for the planet, utilizing long-lasting materials that reduce rubber waste. The ultimate plan for these tires to become established as the premier high-tech component for the modern cyclist across road, gravel, mountain, and e-bike applications. Shape memory alloys look extremely promising and revolutionizing the entire terrestrial tire industry, says Santa Padula, materials science engineer at NASA, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Metal tires will be available for the cycling community in early 2022, before hopefully reaching the car industry and beyond. And Smart has also partnered with the leading micro-mobility provider, Spin, to develop Smart SMA tires for e-scooters. Bicycle tires that are immune to punctures, even on the most potholed roads. Hands up if you can't wait to take this new tech out for a spin. And we'll do one more. Villagers went without streetlights for 45 days to help a bird and its hatchlings. By Judy Cole, March 26, 2021. When a man and nature attempt to coexist, man usually wins out. But that wasn't the case in a small town in southern India when a native robin recently chose to build her nest in an extremely inconvenient location. The village of Pothead Kudi contains only 120 homes and has a total of 35 streetlights. Unfortunately, the misguided mama bird had decided to set up housekeeping in the town's main lighting switchboard. The nest and its inhabitants were first discovered by Karupu Raja, the man tasked with turning on the streetlights each evening. A lifelong bird lover, Raja posted his find to local social media to alert the citizens of his discovery and asked for their cooperation in taking a hands-off approach to the unexpected temporary guest. I wrote on WhatsApp that switching off the lights was the only solution because the bird will fly away once it realizes there is a human touch or contact near its nest. Raja told the Deccan Herald. I also told the group that we should save the bird and its hatchlings at any cost. While some initially voiced concerns, the lack of nighttime illumination would be inconvenient, Raja was eventually able to persuade his fellow villagers that any sacrifice would be worth it in the long run. I explained that so many bird species have become extinct and we should not let Indian robins go the same way. Raja told DH, so rather than oust the feathered brood, the residents agreed to observe a blackout until the nestlings were old enough to fly the coop. The town spent a total of 45 days and nights in the dark, even disconnecting the switchboard from the power source to keep Mom and her chicks safe. After Mama Robin and her fledglings finally took off, the blackout was lifted, but the villagers' extraordinary conservation efforts for the sake of one lone avian and her babies didn't go unnoticed. A bird in the hand may be worth two in the bush, but a bird in the switchboard has earned Patakudi a reputation for kindness that's likely to light up smiles for quite some time to come. And that's our good news for today. In the past, I've seen plenty of birds that have fallen out of their nests, and something that I do feel some sadness about is that I haven't held on to more of them and gotten them back in their nest. Because apparently that's fine. Apparently birds don't care. Or at least most birds don't care. That thing about not touching them is a myth, from what I've heard. And I think back on those times and I think saving a life, no matter how tiny or precious, it's a good thing. It's not out of a karmic sense of trying to earn my way into an afterlife that I do it, though. The reason I do it is because I think genuinely saving a life is the best veneration of ourselves that we can hope to give to anything. Because life is so precious, and there may not be that much of it in this universe. So what we have here and now, what we're able to see and actually hold on to, we have to really make sure to hold fast and keep it as strong and as powerful as we can. We don't know how much longer life is going to exist anywhere, so saving what you can now and doing what you can to keep the world having one more occupant, I think it's a beautiful thing. Though I have my limitations, spiders are not something I can abide by usually. It feels different for me though with spiders. I try my best, but I guess that's my weakness right there. In the past, I've been very They freak you out? Yeah, they freak me out too. Yeah, we have some bad ones over here, but not so bad. In California, we had some long legs. I don't want the topic of spiders to be too present in our stream, but it is something of a presence that exists in our world, so recognizing it's not too bad. But sure, I find them to be very creepy, and if I never have to see one again, I'll probably be much better off. But that's not the world we live in, unfortunately. Maybe someday, though. Maybe someday. Some video games that I was into for a very long time. In fact, I may have spoken about this before, but the very first game I ever played, like by myself, just enjoying it as a single person playing a video game, I think it was Star Trek Elite Force. Star Trek Voyager Elite Force. And I certainly had a very fun time playing that. But I've always had fun with video games. I guess a part of me has always been drawn to interactivity on that scale. And I think it's natural to be drawn to that because there is so much in the world that doesn't seem like it gives you much control. And, you know, a video game makes you feel very in control, makes you feel very able to mess with things, and sandboxes especially, I feel that way. But I find it a little sad that I don't have the best memory for things like that. Even today, when my memory is much better for finding good things than it used to be, I find that often I have a difficult time remembering the good things. But I think the main difference is I don't so easily recollect the bad ones. So there's that. But certainly, I have played many bad video games in my day. I'll say that much. But there have been some really good ones. Me and my friend Crazy, who he may be on the show one day, depending on if he ever gets a good microphone or not. We used to play, the first game we played together, the game we met on, is called Remnants from the Ashes. It's a third-person shooter, looter shooter, kind of. And we made a pretty good team. But we've always been a good team. In fact, our plan was to play Divinity 2 together at some point, but he's just a busy guy these days. And I'm still working up to heal my hands, which does take a long time. We're both going through our own things. Certainly, finding time in general for yourself can be hard. Finding time for you and somebody else can be impossible. But, we try to make it work. He's got his own whole life, though. His own whole life to look at. But I do find that it's interesting seeing other people's lives go by. The people that I used to know. Oh, Ella. Oh, I wasn't sure if you were going to show up. I'm so glad that you did, though. Welcome to the stream, Ella. I'm glad to see you typing away. Gracias. Oh, gracias is all around. Well, I hope that you've had a nice day, Ella. Quite the entrance. Yeah, it is. It is a nice entrance. I like that. But yeah, it's really hard to find time for your friends, and every now and again, I saw your stream announcement, and I was going to get on your live, but for some reason, the memory of me seeing it just disappeared. It's okay. I'm glad you were thinking of it, though, if nothing else. That's really all I ask, is that people think about it. And you did show up, after all. It just took you a minute to get back in the swing of things. And we weren't finished or anything. So you didn't miss too much. I'm just glad that you're here at all, really. An hour and 20 minutes is not a big thing, though. It's good that you're here, even if it's only for another 40 minutes. Yeah, I'm glad he still showed up, just like Playful said. Very true. You know, as you like to say. Well, we've already got through most of our good news in our animal videos, but I can find a few more just for you, if you'd like me to. Today's animal was hedgehogs, so if you like that, then I can go find a few more videos. Me and Crazy have been friends for over 2 years now. We were friends when Remnants from the Ashes first came out. I think we met like a few days after that. Maybe like a month. Less than that, probably. That was back when I was still hanging out with a few other friends and I was still doing D&D very seriously. And I do miss it, honestly, I do. But that time has sort of passed for me in a lot of ways, though I might show up again someday. But I'm alright with it. I'm not upset or anything. Hurry back, Ella. Or take your time, I mean. I don't know what to say sometimes. I have found now that my scheduling abilities have always been a bit rubbish. It seems like I find it difficult to schedule much of anything. Though I do my best. I always find it a little difficult to to get it right, you know, to actually get my schedules all together. But when I do, it's a magical thing when scheduling happens and it works. I'll be thinking about that before I go to bed, actually, about my schedule. When I'm laying here, I'm thinking about tomorrow, thinking about what I'm going to do next. A thought always pops into my head. It's a thought of, what would I like to see out of tomorrow? I'd like to see myself gardening and working on my lovely planter. I'd like to see myself playing a video game, talking with friends. I'd like to see myself hanging out at other people's streams and being involved in other people's lives. Something I really value is taking time for one-on-one moments with a person. I think it might be my favorite part in movies is when you're like one-on-one with just two people or just one person and they're just expressing how they feel in their own way. I really enjoy that. But I think that expression, especially when it's like one person expressing themselves, is absolutely wonderful. I love seeing the way people express themselves. Sometimes I can feel a little bit intimidated by one person's means of expression, just because I get so focused on my own that I can forget that they have their own means to do it. And it can be hard sometimes, being like, oh, well, they have their own means and stuff. And, I like seeing it, and it really makes me happy when someone has a vision, when someone fulfills their vision and they're able to make it work for them. That makes me really happy. And I am always sympathetic to people who are trying their best to make their vision come true. Because it can be really hard to make art. It can be really difficult to have something that you can say is yours and say that you worked on, especially when it's like a huge project. Like D&D can be a huge project sometimes. And you have to put a lot of effort and hours and time and work creatively and creativity and you have to manage so much that you can do it completely improv and completely off the cuff, but it is a beast that you should try your best to make time for outside of that. Really, you should. I am really... You're in D&D, but you haven't done much in it yet. I'm sorry to hear that. Oftentimes, it can be difficult for groups to get together or for characters to have their time in the spotlight. But limelight is not something that you can hand easily as like an even split for all of your characters. You know, players in a game, sometimes one person becomes more the main character than the others, and it's hard not to do that. But that can be fun too sometimes. You're still learning, yeah. I understand how that could be. I've always found that going into Dungeons and Dragons, being involved in a game like that, it's best not to play with strangers. And that's not to say you shouldn't play with strangers, but strangers make strange characters, and they do strange things, and it will seem alien to you to some degree to be involved with them. If not, though, you're lucky, because my experience was very typical. It was a typical bad D&D experience. And, you know, when I got through it, when I was on the other side, I realized what had happened, and I was not interested in talking about it or being, not being in some kind of contact with it. I was more interested in just moving on, moving past it, which I did do. I did get past it. I feel quite good about that. There's a part of me that wants to go back and try to talk to those same people that the problem was with and to learn what happened afterwards, but at the same time, I am over it. You know, I am through. And I respect what happened. I respect that it's done. And those issues that we had, those are in the past. But, I mean, all D&D groups face hardships, whether it be a character leaving or player leaving, or Dungeon Master swap is the hardest one, because it can be really difficult to reinforce and to capture the spirit of a campaign, running it from a different person's perspective. I've never actually seen a game survive that, to be honest with you. Having a game run by one dungeon master for a long time and then someone else starts doing it. It's possible, I'm sure, but I haven't seen it happen. Though I guess if you had the right team, anything could work. And I do fill myself with confidence hearing it. We're coming into our last half hour here of Cast Talks, episode 24. Yeah, I'm so sorry about that. My setup leaves a lot to be desired. I feel embarrassed, actually, that I let that happen. my setup will be a little bit better though. That rarely happens anymore. And I hope I didn't wake anybody up. No, my mouse is tough. My mouse is tough, luckily. Yeah, it's a tough mouse. I need to figure out a way to get the clothes on, though. You know, I can play the saxophone pretty well, though I'm sure I'm rusty. I'd love to play the tenor at some point. A really nice, pretty tenor saxophone would be great. Ooh, what about black with red buttons would be fantastic. Or, I don't know what I would want actually, now that I think about it. Maybe black with red buttons and gold inlays and gold pieces. That might be nice. I don't know how that would look. I have this love of the supernatural, though I don't believe in anything supernatural for the most part. Like 99% of it I don't think is real, but I think that some of the supernatural stuff I've heard is kind of crazy, but this is not a supernatural podcast, or stream, excuse me, but I do like the supernatural, psychic powers and stuff like that have always interested me. Psychic powers and telepathy and telekinesis and projection, astral projection especially, I really like the idea of. I've had dreams where I've astral projected. In the dream, mind you, not in real life. I don't particularly believe in that sort of stuff happening in real life, but I do believe that. I believe that there's something else going on that we don't understand for sure. God, I left my phone on too. I'm just backwards tonight. I'm so backwards. I think that things like astral projection and telekinesis and telepathy, they'd be really cool if they existed, but I don't think we're ready for that yet. We don't have the galaxy brains required to have that in society and make it work. But it would be nice to do that. You know, it'd be nice to be a phantom spirit just roaming around that you could just return to your body whenever you wanted to. I've always thought that if I could just be in someone else's shoes for a little while and sort of understand what they go through and what they do, I feel like I'd be really, like, I'd get some extremely interesting experiences because of that. Right? I'd be like really worldly, really understand the world around me. And I think that would be a lovely experience to see someone else's life through their eyes. In general, though, having superpowers would be interesting. If I get to live out some kind of Matrix simulation world, then having like a mundane superpower would be cool. Something really that didn't matter though, like I thought of random ones, but I can't remember any of them now. Welcome back, Eli. I was just thinking about the superpowers I would ask for if I could have a very mundane superpower. Okay, one of them was to be super good at cleaning a certain area, like 1 square foot at a time. I could make super clean and remove all dirt from. That'd be a good superpower. Another good one. Being able to being able to make plants grow. Knowing exactly how to make every plant grow. That's pretty mundane, but you know, if you knew that, or knowing every single language fluently, that's still not like a game breaker, but you'd still have like a lot of really ridiculous insight into language. You could make a lot of money off that easy being an interpreter, at the very least. But certainly, if I had a power like that, I would not tell people about it, though. My brother is always, you know, reminding me and my sister, and he says, like, if you guys ever get superpowers, you have to tell me, okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'll tell you, but secretly I might not tell him if it was really cool. I didn't want him to know, you know what I mean? I might keep it on the down low. But having a mundane superpower would be fun. But how are you doing, Ella? You haven't really spoken at all since you've been beer bagged. Tell me how your day went. I'd like to hear about it. Another really mundane but useful superpower would be to make anyone that you speak to happy just for a little while. Or to know how to text the perfect emoji and emoticon to relay any emotion through text. That'd be great too. That one's from Dream Daddy though. I didn't make that one up. You're feeling a little drowsy. Your day was alright, but you haven't done a lot. I feel similarly actually. I'm also drowsy, but I'm hanging on because the stream is almost over. Just taking it easy though. I am thinking of very mundane superpowers. If you can think of one that you'd like, then I'm glad to hear it. I'm actually starting to fall asleep, to be honest with you. It's not going to stop me just yet, but I am thinking about my bed. You would warp through time or read someone's mind. That doesn't sound very mundane to me. Those sound really powerful. They have to be less powerful than that. Think like small potatoes. Really small potatoes. Make some badass rhymes, yeah. Be the world's best rhymer. That's a really good one. Because that can't help you do much of anything except for write songs. But you'd be real good at writing songs though, because you could write anything and it'd always rhyme. That's a good idea. Something not super amazing. That's what I'm looking for. Something just mundane. Yeah, I'd like something. Know all the gossip in a 50-mile radius. That's fantastic. You would learn so many juicy tidbits. You would learn so much. How would you learn though? Do you just have this psychic sense of it, or do you hear all of it at once? But like you can parse through it and find the best stuff. That might be a good one. Yes to all of that. Or super ear strength. Like Daredevil, you can control what you can hear. You would want to be able to control it because otherwise you'd hear someone like going pee across the street and you'd be like, this is the 50th time they've peed today, you know? You would just hear it and you'd be like, oh gosh, I hate this. Hearing someone cough across the city. Gosh, that'd be cool though. I do like that power, honestly. It's a good one. It's a good one. We're at that point in the cast talks where I'm just like, oh, so tired. My mind really starts to wander. I've been going to bed a little earlier these days. Eating a burrito bowl. Oh. What kind of meat are you having? Hopefully not at all, but I'll accept any answer. Well, okay, I won't accept any answer, but most answers. I'm glad you're enjoying it though, regardless of the meat you're using. Or not using, question mark. You know, hopefully none, but I'll take any of them. See, once again, not any of them, just most of them. What did I say? What is the meat of your meal, if you're using any? I should just ask what's in your burrito bowl, but I was asking in a very roundabout way. Chicken. That does sound pretty good. My mom was making some chicken bone broth with leftover remnants of the rotisserie chicken she got from Walmart, and it did smell really good. And I don't even eat that, but it smelled really good. Spanish rice, lettuce, pico de gala, guac, and spicy sauce and sour cream. Well, if I liked spicy or sour cream and spice, then I might like that a lot. Sounds like a really good version of Taco Bell. It's just sour cream is just so gross. I just can't stand it. Every now and again, when I used to get tacos there, they would give you a taco, and I'd be like, oh, it said no sour cream, so there's none on there. It's like a heightened Chipotle. Nice. They'd be like, no sour cream on this taco, and I'd bite into it, and I'd be like, there's sour cream on this taco, I hate it. Yeah, it doesn't make you want to boom boom afterwards. Yeah, nice. Very nice. I'm a little loud today. I'm gonna turn myself down. It looks like they forgot the sauce, though, because it's barely spicy. Well, I'm sorry you forgot your spice. A meal without spice cannot be understated as being boring, but you'll get a spicy meal someday. Someday. You know, I've been building my spice tolerance with some flaming hot Cheetos. You got a spicy bed waiting for you after dinner in this live stream. Aw. Nice. Spicy bed. Cheetos. Yeah, flaming hot Cheetos. They're terrible for you, but they're very spicy. They're hot. I have been building up my tolerance to spice with those. And it's been working okay. Though I'm not very good either at the moment. My very medium, mild tolerance to spice. Yeah, you enjoy spice, but the burning sensation ain't it. It's a love-hate thing. Yeah, I know what you mean. I've been there. I would just keep eating the flaming hot Cheetos until like, no, I mean, I'd be eating them and I'm like, oh, this is really good. But whenever you stop, it's like, oh, it's hot. It's really hot. Glad to see you saying, you know, though. It's always a highlight of my streams is when Ella says, you know. The highlights of Cast Talks are the you knows. It's true. I like when you do that. I like when you say you know, you know? Well, folks, we're gonna wind on down for tonight. It's been great having all of you here. Thank you to Eric Sona, who is I won't say her name. And thank you to Playful, who has been with us since the beginning, and Ella, who showed up a little later but was still here. Thank you to all the lurkers hanging out in chat. And thank you to everybody else in the future who's listening to this and trying to relax. I'm a little tired, and it was a little slow tonight, but still had a good time. I'm sorry about all the noise. Thank you, Ella. Good night to you, too. I'm probably gonna lurk in someone else's chat for a little while I go to bed. And, you know, I hope the rest of you who are out there trying to sleep, I hope that you are feeling good. I hope you're feeling relaxed. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Sorry you came late. I'm just glad you came at all. It doesn't matter if it's late or early or whatever. You were here. You got to enjoy it. So I feel good about it. I'm just glad you're here. Been fun as usual, guys. See you next week. Well, thank you very much, Playful. I hope to see you next week, too. Oh, you always do that, Ella. I'm like, what's wrong? And then you fix it. I'm like, oh, good. You always keep me guessing. But yeah, you folks, you have a lovely night and get some good sleep and relax. As for me, that's gonna be it. So as always, keep you on my seat edges. As always, have a good night. Take care and stay safe. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.